Alright everyone, hello, what is up? The Loganators here, and welcome back to another video. It's been a while since I actually put a video up on the channel, and that's partly because of finals right now, and a bit of laziness, to be honest, so I'm really sorry for that. I apologize. More videos will be out soon after finals, and I will, get more content out for you guys to enjoy. But today we are in DCS World, and flying the trainer P-51 Mustang. Just kind of a fun, relaxing flight in DCS World. This is actually all free. Everything you see right here, software base, is completely free. You can go download the simulation on Steam called DCS World, and it gives you this trainer P-51 as well as an SU-25 Frogfoot. Highly suggest you go check it out if you're interested in that sort of thing. But anyways, let's get her started up here. So I'm going to go through the startup procedure and talk while I do that. So mainly why I'm making this video is because recently I got a simulator lesson at my local airport, and I quite enjoyed it. So kind of flying flight simulators recently. I will say the flight simulator at the airport was a bit trickier than IL2 or DCS World or those flight simulators. And I think it was mainly trying to be as difficult as possible because they want you to be the best you can up there, and if something goes wrong, you know what you're going to do, and you're not going to have any hesitation. So the more difficult it is in the sim, the easier it is in real life. But I don't think it was quite accurate to real life, if that makes any sense. I mean, the aircraft I was flying was basically a sailplane with just a engine strapped onto it, so it was very light with a huge wingspan, so that might be it. And I'm used to flying, warbirds inside of IL2 and DCS, but that's beside the point. Anyways, let's turn on our wingtip lights here. We're almost ready to get this bird started up. I think everything looks good. Yeah, looks fine to me. So we're going to go request a startup here. We're going to go to ATC, and we're going to request startup. Awesome. Request startup. We'll get the cap off of this, get it ready. Alright. Cleared for startup. We're going to get the primer, the fuel in the engine right now. Get it ready for a startup. I'm going to put the throttle a bit forward. I think that's good. Alright, let's start her up. And almost forgot to tap the wheel brakes there. Alright, there we go. Didn't use a parking brake. That was an oversight on my part, but we are started up. Didn't roll forward too much, so that is all good. Let's request a taxi to the runway and follow that up with a takeoff. Flight plan for today is just to circle the airfield and then going for a nice landing, hopefully. This is not my first take on this video, just saying. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Let's uncage that, and we are clear for taxi. The way you have to taxi this thing, since it's a tail dragger, that wheel on the back there can swivel, and you have to lock it by moving the stick backwards and forwards. So you got to use the rudder pedals, brakes on the left and right wheels, and it's a bit complicated taxiing any aircraft, but I think we'll manage here. Come on. Let's taxi this sucker. There we go. Alright. Pretty short taxi. So, guess we just gotta request takeoff now. And we'll get the canopy closed as well. There we go. Let's get this canopy closed. And come on. I forget if there's a locking mechanism in this thing or if it just locks on its own. Come on. There we go. Alright, we are good. We have permission to take off here. That's getting a little out of sync. I'm not too happy about that. But, let's get ourselves out on the runway. Don't want to spin out, so we're going to take it easy. Oh, pretty good taxi there, if I say so myself. Slave it, unslave. Okay. Cage on cage. And, let's throttle this thing up. Let's go. Keep it steady with the rudder. Looking good. We are on track, and we're torquing over to the right here with the propeller. Not a pretty takeoff. But I think we're up. Yeah, we are up. Let's get this in. Alright, landing gear is coming up. Alright. Alright, well, we are up. It wasn't a pretty takeoff, but hey, we're alive, I guess. Alright. And if anybody's experienced with DCS World, and you see I'm doing anything wrong, anything against procedures, anything that could get me killed in the future, let me know in the comments, because always up to learn new things in DCS World, and I want to become a better pilot inside of this simulator, so, you know, let me know what I'm doing wrong here if you do see anything. And also, if you need a buddy to fly with, then I am open to fly with you as well. I've got the Flame Eclipse 3-pack, Tiger 2, and Harrier, so, you know, I got a few modules to play with. You'll have to probably teach me a few things along the way, but yep, just hop my Discord description below and give me a call, and we'll do some DCS World. Alright, let's get the rudder trim all sorted out here. We don't want more of it. Now that we're in the air, the torque of the propeller is a bit negated, so don't need as much trim. We're already climbing way above the airfield here. But we don't need to climb anymore, so we're going to ease off on the throttle. A fun fact for people who are interested in aviation, I didn't know this before, but when I was going through the systems of the P-51 in the tutorial, I saw this thing over here. You'll see the ANAPS 13, and I was curious about that, what that was. And if you see those little rods sticking out on the tail back there, not the two rods that are close to me, but the one sticking out of the tail itself, that is actually linked up to that ANAPS 13 system, which is a radar detector, actually. So if anything pops up behind you and you have that thing on, it's going to beep at you and say, hey, we're detecting something behind you, you should probably check your 6. I thought that was pretty interesting. I didn't know the P-51 had any sort of radar at all, but the more you know, I guess. Alright, we are looking pretty good. We're up in the air, everything is fine, but we're going to go request a landing now, so let's talk to ATC here. ATC, we're going to go inbound.
Infield 1-1, inbound.
Yeah, turn around. I'm going to be honest with you here, I don't know what the pattern altitude is. Well, I know what a pattern altitude is, but I don't know how to get into it, the pattern altitude. Heading I understand, but I guess I need to check my compass and learn that a bit more. Runway 22, I know for sure, those numbers, that is the heading of the runway. So if you come in from the opposite direction, the runway is actually going to be named something else. And we're coming in a little fast here. So we're going to do some S-turns here to slow ourselves down. Let's get our flaps down as well. Already not a great approach. Where's the gear? Where's the gear? There's the gear. Don't want to click that mixture button. Alright, now we're lined up alright. A little more to the right and I think we'll be fine. Alright. Runway 22, we are on final. I'm assuming a pattern altitude. They gave us a heading there. I don't know if it tells us what side of the runway. I'll have to look at what they're telling us, but that's something I'll definitely need to learn. What I'm trying to go for here is I'm aiming at those lines at the start of the runway, and then when I just about get over that, I'm going to cut my throttle and flare and let the aircraft kind of stall itself onto the runway at low speed, and I'll keep her straight. Little off to the right, but that's fine, we can correct that. I don't have rudder pedals in my setup, but I do have a throttle column with rudder pedals, I guess, on the end of it. Not quite foot rudder pedals, but hey, they still work. Alright, we're way off to the right here, we'll correct. Alright, we'll flare, we'll flare, we'll flare, we'll flare, we'll flare. And we actually stalled out alright. Good landing there. Just keeping her steady with the rudder. And that, my friends, is a successful landing. Not bad. We did correct ourselves and we got lined up alright. So that's good, I guess. Apply some wheel brakes. Nice, nice. Don't want to apply too much wheel brakes because you can actually flip this aircraft out. And that is not fun. Roger, Dodger, RTC. Taxiing the parking area. You can get the canopy down now. Oh, come on. I think we overshot the taxiing area. I could be mistaken though. Alright, come on, get out of my way. Alright, there we go. Let's focus on taxiing the aircraft now. I do have a track IR so I can lean around and get a better view. We're off to the right of the runway. Pilots in real life with so much experience will just line themselves up perfectly, be able to multitask. But I only have 50 hours in DCS, and I think 13 in IL2, so need a bit more in terms of simulator practice before I can get anywhere remotely good. But I guess we'll just taxi down to the end of this runway. There is a taxiing practice session that you can do with a tutorial segment of this aircraft, and that is very useful actually. I learned quite a bit just from that. Got some good practice in. Oh, don't want to spin out. Got close, got close. Gotta be careful, easy with the brakes. There we go. Whoa, I said easy. Okay. Pumping the throttle a bit much there. There we go, we're lined up. Cool. I'd love to get rudder pedals at some point. I think it'd be pretty neat. I'm using the Thrustmaster setup right now, T16000 joystick, as well as I think just called the TWAS, something like that, throttle column. Normally I would have to stop and check left and right before I continue, but who cares about that? We'll just park in this section over here. Alright, there we go. Terrible taxi work, but we're getting the job done, I think. Let's see if we can do a 3-point turn or whatever. No, well, I mean, a U-turn. Can't really do a 3-point turn in this because you can't reverse. Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing there? There we go. Watch the wings. Watch those wings. Turn very sharp corners, and that's nice. Just like this. Come on. There you go. I think that's a successful parking job if I've ever seen one. I don't know the proper shutdown procedure, but I assume you just kind of do that. Yeah, we'll call that a day. Still has some juice in her. Just turn that fuel flow off. There we go. Fuel booster off. Probably not the right the right procedure to turn this thing off. But hey, I think you lower the flaps. Close that. Okay. Just kind of doing the opposite of what I did to start this thing up. Okay. Well, there you go. That has been a successful flight in the TF-51. So, I hope you enjoyed, guys. If you did, make sure to like this video and tell me if you want to see more DCS World flyouts. If you do, well, just, you know what to do. Comment down below, say, hey, I like this and I want to see more. And with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios, everyone, and thanks for watching.